and welcome to the PowerMax Mini Challenges penultimate round, here where it all started a few months ago at Donington Park. With 5 races still left to run, the 2015 championship title fight is well and truly on. Let's go racing. Charlie Butler-Henderson's been having a great first season in the Mini Challenge and he's currently 4th in the championship. However, this weekend sees possibly his greatest rival join him on the track. Team Butler-Henderson. So, qualifying has already happened. Vicky, I've got to come to you first. Tell us what you think.
I think the cars are fantastic. I've not raced for 5 years. This is my excuse coming right out. I'm sort of bringing up the rear of the grid, whereas Charlie's charging forwards at the front. I'm like the sweeper, making sure everyone's getting through all right.
Is there, do you think there's going to be any rivalry between the two of you? Because obviously, brother-sister.
Vicky is a very good peddler. She's a very quick driver, but these cars, you do need a little bit of time in them. So I'll make another excuse for her saying she hasn't had that long in the car. The test day yesterday was dry and wet, and they're lively little things. So I think she's doing really well. The fact that it's in one bit still and that she's qualified, I'm well happy.
Cheeky monkey.
What do you how do you rate Charlie then as a driver? Come on, honestly.
I think he is super talented, and I really wish throughout his career he's had more breaks than he was given. And seeing today that how he's so much quicker than me and so much, you know, and just so far on pole, I just think it's amazing. And he is. You're a very talented boy. I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. It's the nicest thing I think you've ever said.
Yeah, I know. And it's on record now, so you can rewind it.
So what do you think of the F56?
They are a right bundle of frantic energy that you need to harness, and I haven't quite got to the bottom of it yet, but I know Charlie says that you almost need to have an accident at every corner to know that you're going quickly. I'm not quite. I don't really think that I want to experience that this weekend. I'm just having a lot of fun. They're great. They're a really good giggle to drive.
Well, Charlie Butler-Henderson is on pole position. His sister slightly further back. She's got a bit of catching up to do, but let's get this race underway.
Thank you very much, Michelle. Let's take a look at the grid for the first of 3 Mini Challenge races this weekend as we take a look at the rest of the drivers on the grid. Here are the top 10 in the F56 category. 16 cars in this category, led by Charlie Butler-Henderson, followed by William Phillips, Rob Smith and Ryan Rode on the 2nd row of the grid. And then starting at the back are 7 JCW cars led by Neil Newstead, who shares the front row for that race with Hamish Brandon, followed by Kevin O'Connor and Jason Jeffries. We are ready for the standing starts for the race, and it's go, and it's a very good getaway from Charlie Butler-Henderson. William Phillips slightly out-dragged as they got to the green light. It's Butler-Henderson who leads the drivers down to the first corner, and everybody swarming all over that inside line. No one wanting to be left hung out to dry on the outside line at Redgate Corner. That's Ryan Rode tucking into 3rd position there, and now they begin the drop down the Craner curves, and Charlie Butler-Henderson's got himself a nice little lead, and it's very tightly bunched behind him, and Rode is very out of shape as they drop down towards. He's completely off, skits across the gravel trap and thumps into the barrier, and that was a substantial crash. But the car remains upright, so it's looking all right for Ryan Rode, though he is going to be out of this race. However, in the meantime, Charlie Butler-Henderson has made good his escape. He's already into McLean's and out of it with a chasing pack so wide they can't all fit on the track. I saw Lawrence Davey off in the gravel trap there. The F56 cars have passed us by, and there goes the JCW crowd, and there is a disconsolate Ryan Rode and a heavily damaged car and a fair chunk taken out of the barrier as well. But look at that lead that Charlie Butler-Henderson already has as they approach the chicane for the first time. There are a swarm of cars all battling over the positions, and one of them getting very, very out of shape and across the gravel trap at the chicane. That is number 46, that's Sam Osborne, off at the chicane, and a unfortunate start to his race. But further back, a very, very fierce battle going on for 2nd position, but Charlie Butler-Henderson is absolutely checking out on this first lap at the Donington Park GP circuit. So currently holding on to 2nd is David Grady, and he's being pursued by Jack Mitchell. And then the The others are following behind him so thick and fast, it's almost too quick to name them all, but they come by the pits for the first time. Charlie Butler Henderson has already been and gone. David Grady is leading the pursuit, followed by Jack Mitchell, but they're all up to Redgate Corner, into and out of it, and as they come down to the Craner curves for the second time, the yellow flags are flying. I'm going to take a little look at a replay which shows why. It was Ryan Rode who got out of shape. Now, did he jump or was he pushed? Let's take a little look at the replay. It looks as though the back end got away from him all by himself there. He had a lot of cars very close behind him, but it looks as though he just snapped away from him. And that was a substantial hit with the barrier. He will be feeling that for a few days afterwards, but glad to see him get out of the car unaided. Now the battle for second place is getting very tasty indeed. Jack Mitchell all over the back of David Grady as they accelerate out of McLean's. Mitchell having a little bit of a look as they head towards Coppice, but Grady will not be enticed off his racing line. Burst of flame from the back of Mitchell's car as he chases Grady onto the back straight, heading towards the chicane. This is one of the better overtaking opportunities. They can tuck up, they can get a little bit of a slipstream, they can try and make a late move on the brakes, and is that what Jack Mitchell is thinking of? He holds his place for the time being, tries to get a better exit from the chicane than David Grady as they head now down towards the Adelaide hairpin. This very square, it's almost like a double apex 90-degree right-hander, and Jack Mitchell fancies a big move down the inside. He claims the early apex, and is he able to tuck the car up tight enough at the exit? He certainly is. That was an absolutely textbook overtaking move at the Adelaide hairpin by Jack Mitchell. Move him up into second place ahead of David Grady. A puff of tyre smoke though as he tackles the left-handed hairpin, which brings the field back to the start-finish line, but it's not a problem for Jack Mitchell for now. And just behind them we've got two cars side by side all the way out of the hairpin, heading down towards the corner. This is the battle for fourth position, and it is Lee Patterson side by side with Luke Cordell, and it's Patterson who's got the better of that battle for now in the distinctive post-box red Mini. But we take a little look further back at what's going on in the battle for the lead in the JCW clash. We've got Hamish Brandon leading, and close behind him Kevin O'Connor in the blue Mini, trying to look around the outside, and really super late on the brakes there. Hamish Brandon's car squirming around as they went down into Redgate Corner. Brandon holds on to his lead for now, but he's getting a lot of attention from Kevin O'Connor, and also one of the F56 cars that's making its way back through the field. That is William Phillips, who I think went a little bit deep at Old Hairpin on the first lap while Ryan Rode was having his substantial crash, and Phillips having to mount a bit of a recovery. We pick up our two drivers battling for second overall in the race, although the battle is pretty much done and dusted, because that is where Jack Mitchell got his run on David Grady a lap ago and pulled out a bit of a lead. And the question now is whether he can catch that man, Charlie Butler Henderson, who once again dodges out of the frame of our camera view. He is leaving everybody pretty much standing at the moment, but Jack Mitchell, now that he's cleared David Grady, has got a bit of air in front of him and may be able to cut into Butler Henderson's lead. And David Grady in turn may have to keep an eye on his mirrors for Lee Patterson, who appears to be drawing ever closer to him. Meanwhile, the battle for honours in the JCW class is alive and well indeed. Hamish Brandon continuing to hold on to that lead, but up into second place in class is Neil Newstead in the green and black number 77 car. And Kevin O'Connor, who did look like he was about to make a move for the class lead, has now slipped back to third in class. Second and third overall. Jack Mitchell continues to motor on. You can see all the damage left behind from where Ryan Rode exited the track on the first lap and took out one of the corner markers as he went. But further back, this is still the battle in the JCW class, and Hamish Brandon doing a really good job of holding on here, but having fended off Kevin O'Connor, he's now going to have to worry about Neil Newstead, who's getting closer and closer to the back of him, and a little bit of loose trim on the back of Newstead's car. It doesn't seem to be slowing him down at all, because he is latched right onto the back of Hamish Brandon. Just look how these cars squirm around in the braking area. It's absolutely fantastic to watch these mini challenge cars in action around a super quick track like the Donington Park Grand Prix circuit. They are around the long looping left-hander and now picking a braking spot for McLean's, pitching the car in, taking a little bit of the curb. Not too much, you don't want to get spat out onto that gravel. And it looks like someone did take a little bit of gravel there, and indeed it was. Neil Newstead ran a little bit wide. Kevin O'Connor fancies taking advantage, but he's gone wide too at Coppice, so that has not worked out well for Kevin O'Connor at all. However, it's working out very well indeed for Charlie Butler Henderson, number 15, continuing to lead at the front of the field and up to take the checkered flag, this time by Jack Mitchell. Has edged into his lead a little bit, but I think Charlie Butler Henderson has just been able to manage his pace in this race. He has shown the field a clean pair of heels, and he takes the checkered flag in first position. Victory for Charlie Butler Henderson, followed home by Jack Mitchell. David Grady in third position, and then Lee Patterson and Luke Cordell round out the top 5. Victory in the JCW class looks like it's about to go to Hamish Brandon. He's just got one more corner to go, and he's got a little bit of a lead over Neil Newstead as they head into the final hairpin. For the last time at the Donington Park circuit, Brandon is into the hairpin and out of it, and he now has sight of the checkered flag, and it's victory in the JCW class for Hamish Brandon, with Neil Newstead following him home second in class and Jason Jeffries third in the JCW category. But victory for Charlie Butler Henderson, absolutely consummate performance from him. He simply drove away from the field from the very first lap. So victory for Charlie Butler Henderson's sister Vicky, finished down in 12th position. Jack Mitchell and David Grady complete the podium in the F56 class. JCW class honours go to Hamish Brandon, followed by Neil Newstead and Jason Jeffries, with Scott Adam in 4th place. So here is our JCW class winner, Hamish Brandon. He had that car very much under control, although looking super skittish in the braking zones at times. He leads that field home for victory in the first race at Donington Park, and victory overall for Charlie Butler Henderson. He spoke to Michelle.
A convincing and fairly comfortable win, Charlie.
Yeah, from lights to flag again, which is good, which is what you want. I was constantly looking in my mirrors for these guys to see where they were at, but yeah, we seem to keep the gap consistent and the same the whole time. There was absolute carnage behind me. Everyone was going off, there was tyre smoke, there was dust, there was minis going sideways, and I was just thinking, this is brilliant, just keep going and concentrate on what you've got to do. So yeah, really enjoyed it.
Hamish, you already had a win at Donington when we were here, well, first time for the season, so you must be pretty chuffed.
Yeah, it was a win in the race 3, so I was quite keen to come back and try and win the first one this time as well, so really happy to take a win.
Plenty of drama, but some convincing wins for Hamish Brandon and Charlie Butler Henderson. We'll be back with some Cooper class action for you after the break.